Hello and welcome back to my channel, and for the first video of this week, I apologise there's not been one other than the live stream, but to be honest there's not been much to talk about. EFL talks was an option but didn't really come to fruition, there wasn't enough going on. As a result, I've decided to predict what I think the League One table will end up as. I'm not going to go through all the mid-table teams from positions, I'm going to just do the top 8 and the bottom 6, because I think that gives us a rough summary. Teams finishing 10th, that your team could finish there. For instance, if I don't put you in the top 8, that means you've dropped out, or it means you're not quite making it. Can we get 10 likes on this video, please? Can we hit sorry, I'm getting numbers mixed up now. Can we get 575 subscribers before the end of this month? Fingers crossed we can. But without further ado, we'll get into it. This is just a solo video, so there's no outside input, and I'm going to start with the bottom 6. We're going to work our way down from 18th position. Now in 18th, there's a team that I think will climb out of the relegation zone. They currently occupy it. New manager has come in and not really changed much. That is Bristol Rovers. Now Bristol Rovers have been in League One for a bit of time now, and I think they'll be staying there. I don't think I can see them getting the relegation done to them. And then just below them, also surviving, I think Swindon will just about be able to make it out. I've had a look at all of the teams' run-ins. Most of the teams have to face three or four of the top, or the current top 8. So I think, yeah, those two will just about manage. They've got a bit better running than the other 4 teams that I've put to go down. They've had a bit of better form. Yes, some of the teams aren't in good form, but when you're in the bottom 6, you're not going to be in good form. And then to face the Axe, the first team I've put in 21st position in the league, Wigan Athletic. I think Wigan will face the drop. I don't think they'll be able to find their way out of it. I think currently they're second bottom in the league. I think for them it is game over in League One. Back-to-back relegations for them from the Championship down to League 2. I think, don't get me wrong, I think they'll be able to rebuild next season and come back into League One, but I think it's just a little bit too much for them with Liam Richardson as their boss now. They'll have a rebuild next season with their new Bahraini owners. Well, you never know. The problem is at the moment those owners can't put money into transfers and things to help them. All they can do is stabilise the club, whereas in the summer, if they do go down, maybe they will stay up, but if they do go down, they can have a rebuild, get some players in and go for it again. Another team to go down, I've put as Northampton, obviously beating Pompey 4-1 at home. That was just an outlying performance. They're the lowest home goal scorers in the league currently. Not very good away either. And just abysmal really overall. They currently occupy, and I think they're just about outside the relegation zone at the moment. But I think they'll slip back into it if they are currently occupying a position. And I think Northampton won't have enough on the board, enough points to get to stay up. Now, second bottom in the league is a team that I don't want to see go down because I'd love to go to their new ground. That is, of course, Wimbledon, who have returned to 2 Plough Lane. I'd love to go there. I don't want to see them go down. I love their club. They've set themselves up from absolutely nothing after their club got betrayed and moved to Milton Keynes. They've set themselves up from nothing, got back here, and unfortunately for them, I think it is the end of their League One journey. They'll definitely be back, let's say that the least. But they've not had a good season, that's to say the least. They've had a couple of good results, but it's simply not good enough. Pompey's last away game of the season does come away at Wimbledon as well. Unfortunately, fans not going to be there. But I think it's a little too much for them. Their running looks very difficult with a couple of teams they're playing. Peterborough, Pompey, I believe, both are playing, and Ipswich have got to play them as well. But you never know, teams down there can get points against those teams when they're fighting for it. Now, the last team I predicted to go down, they've only had 1 win since the new year, as far as I'm aware. That is Rochdale. Now, Rochdale is normally a good away day. Pompey's first away win came there last season when the fans were still allowed in. And it just simply wasn't good enough. Rochdale have had one of those seasons to forget. They lost Ian Henderson in the summer to Salford, and they haven't really replaced him with another goal scorer. I think Rochdale have lost a lot of players but not got good replacements in. The manager's not doing very well there. They currently sit bottom of League One, a team that normally are in a relegation battle or mid-table fight, never really pushing to get promotion, but this is abysmal for them. This is abysmal for any club, really, to be in the form they're in. And I think their fans will be agreeing with me here, saying they probably will face a drop. But don't forget, League 2, it is a hard league to get out of, although these teams, with a bit of investment, should be able to get out of it. But I think now it is time to move to the top half. The half where everyone cares about. The half where trophies are won, where promotions are gained. Now this is the top 8. Now, I think this is going to be a bit, what's the word? A bit people won't agree with me necessarily, a bit controversial. I think in 8th position, Charlton Athletic will hold on to their 8th position, so to speak, and they'll stay outside the playoffs. Their fans don't think they're good enough. I don't think they're good enough. I think they're going to finish 8th. They haven't had a good season. Although they are there and thereabouts outside the playoffs, I simply don't think they've been good enough to deserve them. I think you're looking at clubs inside and around those clubs at the minute chasing them down. They've been so much better than them this season. Pompey may be one of those. I don't necessarily agree with the fact that we've been better than them. But I think if you're going to look at that Charlton side, I don't think they've been good enough to warrant staying in the playoff places. I don't think they've been good enough to warrant a playoff place anyway. They've obviously lost Lee Bowyer recently, got Nigel Adkins in, former Southampton manager. He's got a track record of getting teams out of that division. Southampton, I think he got them from there to the Premier League. But that said, it's going to be difficult with Charlton. I don't think he'll be able to do it. 7th position, this is going to be probably the most controversial one amongst their fans anyway. I might have a couple of subscribers from them. Lincoln City, I think they will drop out of the playoffs. Their recent form doesn't warrant being able to beat other sides there and thereabouts to a playoff place. You've got the likes of Blackpool coming in, they're in good form. Oxford as well. Stay tuned to find out if I think I've put them in a playoff place. But I don't think Lincoln will be able to hold on. They've had a phenomenal season for their football club. Michael Appleton doing wonders there. But I don't think they'll be able to hold on. I simply don't think they're good enough. Results recently have gone against them. Their penalty luck is drying out. George Grant not being able to give the penalties he normally loves. But ultimately, I'm not going to say they won't get players because they've got some good players in there. But personally, I think they will slip out. I hope they cling on, but I don't think they will. And then in the first playoff place, I've put a team that came up in the playoffs from League 2. The same season Pompey got promoted. That's his Blackpool. Now, the former Premier League club have had a bit of a fall from grace in recent years, and they'll be hoping to get back to the Championship. But I think a lot of people agree with me when I say them in the Premier League was a fluke. I don't know how they got there, but they didn't stay there for long. It was nice knowing them, but they'll be hoping that their recent form has been brilliant, games in hand favouring them as well. I think Blackpool will be able to get the points and the results on the board to get them into those playoffs. Whether that's 6th, 5th, 4th or 3rd, I don't know. Personally, I think they'll finish 6th though, just about claiming it, maybe on goal difference from Lincoln. Now in 5th position, this is probably going to be one that Pompey fans will be happy with. I've put Pompey to finish 5th. Now, people would have said at the start of the season, it's not good enough. That's another season which dropping back, went 4th, 5th and 5th again. But with the Cowleys, we're under a bit of a revolution. I'm saying revolution, it's a word that I like to use. We're rebuilding now. Yes, we're not being able to bring any players in, but the Cowleys have got us playing again. In training, I think that he said he watched the under-9s, under-10s, under-11s. He was watching everyone to see exactly what the club's about. He's watching everything. Danny Cowley means business. Nicky Cowley helping him as well. Our running as well, before we say anything. Our running doesn't include any of the top half. As it stands, we have to play all the teams from the bottom half. Accrington twice, Wimbledon, Rochdale. We have to play all these teams again. That's why I believe that we will be making it into the playoffs and we will be making it 5th. Maybe not by a lot of points, maybe not too close to the promotion, but I think we'll be getting 5th position and we will be facing Doncaster in the playoffs, who I think will finish 4th. They had the games in hand, they had the chance to go 2nd or 1st, and they bottled it. They didn't quite get there, and I don't think they'll be able to recover. I think they do still have a couple of games in hand, which is Lincoln's problem as well. That's why I think they drop out. They've played more games than a lot of people. But I think Doncaster will be finishing 4th this season. They've not made use of the games at hand they had. They've not made use of what they do have. Yes, they did take 6 points off Pompey, but they haven't done it against enough teams elsewhere. So I think Doncaster will be playing Pompey in the playoffs and they'll finish 4th. Now onto the final playoff team. Now this is basically going to be who is dropping out, who is holding on. Now the opponents for Blackpool in the playoffs, I think, will be Hull City. Now Hull have they have been good this season, do not get me wrong, taking 3 points off Pompey after we took 3 points off them. However, the one reason I think they'll drop out, not because of how good they play, not because of the results they've got or the run-in, it's because they've played more than anyone. Yes, I already said Doncaster, they messed up their games in hand, but Hull haven't just got, it's not like one team has games in hand on them. Sunderland do, Peterborough do, Pompey do, Blackpool do, Oxford, everyone has games in hand on Hull. Maybe Lincoln don't at the minute, but Hull have played more than everyone. I think it was a stat the other day where Pompey had 11 games left, Hull had 9. You know, everyone's trying to get points. Pompey have then a possible 33, Hull have a possible 27. Hull would have to win every game just to make sure they can try and get ahead. And that running could be difficult for them as well. I think I'm going to go have a look at it now, just in case Hull fans do come at me and say, well, hold on a minute, why are we dropping out? we're currently leading the league. You've played one more than Peterborough, who are only 3 points behind you. Yes, Peterborough didn't have a good result the other day, but they still did all right. Sunderland are then 2 games in hand on you, only 5 points behind. They can catch you. Lincoln have a game in hand. They're only 7 points behind. Doncaster have 3 games in hand. They're not even that far behind either. They can go within 3 points. But you're running as well. We'll have a look at this now. So don't get me wrong, you're unbeaten since the 23rd of February, and that is very good form. But your running looks okay. You know, you've got Gillingham, Crewe, Northampton, Plymouth, all bottom half sides. Fleetwood then, they're in good form, wouldn't write them off. But then you've got Sunderland, Lincoln, Wigan and Charlton. Sunderland, they'll be looking to get promotion back to the Championship. Lincoln, they'll be looking to hold on to what they have. Wigan, they're in a relegation fight, they want the points. And Charlton on the final day away. Charlton will want everything they can get to try and get into those playoffs. Albeit I don't think they will. I think they'll be fighting for every single point. That is why I think Hull will just about drop outside of the playoffs. But now we move into the top 2. Now I'm looking at my iPad, so I couldn't remember who I put in second. But I do remember now. And it's a team that has been in there or thereabouts for a long, long time recently. That team is Peterborough. I think Peterborough will make an entrance into the Championship. I think they're very good this season. Don't get me wrong, I don't think it'll be easy for them. We'll look at their running now. Accrington and then Fleetwood, 2 bottom half sides. Sunderland at home though, that'll be difficult between 2 top teams at the moment. Swindon away, should get 3 points. Northampton at home, bottom of the league nearly. Gillingham at home, bad form. Charlton away, a must win for them. The last 4 games though. This is where it gets interesting. Peterborough's last 4 games. Peterborough are known for liking to do a bottle here. Charlton, Doncaster, Lincoln, and then Doncaster again is Peterborough's last 4 games. Won't be easy whatsoever. You're telling me that Peterborough will go up easily. They won't. I think Peterborough will be fighting for it, but they're a very good attacking side. I think it will finally come for them. I think Peterborough will finally be entering the Championship. But we'll look now at the team I have put to win the league, and I think there's no prizes for guessing who I've put to go up. It's the team that are unbeaten since the 8th of February. They've just won the leasing.com trophy, whatever you want to call it, Papa John's trophy. That is, of course, Sunderland AFC. I think they'll be making it back to the Championship of the 3rd time of asking. I think they've had a phenomenal season, not necessarily to start, but since they sacked Parky, they've gone on a phenomenal run. And I think with Lee Johnson, they'll be going back where they belong to the Championship. They do have Oxford, Peterborough, Charlton, Blackpool, Hull, Blackpool again, and then just some bottom half sides to play. I think they have Hull in there as well, Blackpool twice. You know, some difficult games there, but I think they'll be able to win them. And I think Sunderland will claim the League One title, making it back to where they belong in the Championship, or even maybe the Premier League where they belong. But that will come eventually. Now tonight, Oxford do face Lincoln. This could make me change my predictions. Hopefully not. Please do leave a subscribe down below. It is free. Do like the video. Can we get 10 likes on this one? I think that's roughly where it ends. Thank you for watching to this point. Let me know what your predictions for the League One table are down below, and I'll see you guys in the preview of Pompey versus Shrewsbury tomorrow morning.